Welcome to Purewater Pictures, the studio behind the upcoming series Tales o' the River. In the previous video, I showed you how I create the sky backgrounds for our animated show, but this time we see that sky as it is when nighttime falls. While writing episode 1, I considered it crucial to include scenes from every part of the day so I could capture the entire color palette of the sky. Incorporating the haunting beauty of twinkling stars with the moon's mesmerizing glow would create a breathtaking atmosphere for audiences to immerse themselves in. So, without further ado, here's the story of how I made my night sky. The world of Tales o' the River is almost entirely scratch-built, so with the style of filmmaking come many trials and errors. I made it clear from the beginning that I wanted my stars to shine. My mind kept going back and forth about how to do that. An obvious choice for me was to poke a long string of small lights through the paper, but I also experimented with puncturing pinholes into a sheet of cardboard, and found that by placing the sheet in front of a lamp, it looked like a real constellation. I set aside making the night sky for several months to finish other parts of the episode. Surprisingly, my family and I moved in early 2024. We made a 40-minute drive with nothing but my set pieces in the car, taking Purewater Pictures to a new home. The Tales o' the River workshop was now in the garage, where I began to illustrate my first full-sized sky backgrounds. I had planned to use poster boards instead of paper, but the resulting backgrounds were too reflective and glossy. However, I realized I could use them in a different way. I needed a light to shine from behind the sky to make the moon glow. Yet ordinary paper was too translucent, the entire sky would end up glowing, and the string lights might sag on the paper too. Using thick poster boards would fix those problems, but the sky had to be curved so I could record camera turns. For that reason, I lightly soaked the poster boards with water on one side to make them warp like a watercolor painting, and weighed them down at the centers to bend the flat boards into arches. Many days had passed when I chose to take one of my paper rolls and color the night sky. I figured the medium blue would even out once in the dark. When time finally came to put all the pieces together, I used a smaller board to join the two larger ones with hot glue to create a single frame. Then I carefully bonded the frame to the paper with a glue stick, but the end results were disappointing. Using paper yielded a wrinkly and uneven sky that couldn't be fixed. So, I tore all the paper off. It was a terrible waste of resources, but that's what happens when production misses the pure water standard. Yet, it was another lesson learned and a time to find a better solution. It took a long while to scrape off the imperfections, but I wanted the boards to be extra smooth because this time I planned to spray paint the night sky directly on them. I suspended the frame outdoors and gave it the first coat. I soon realized some light would still show through the thick material, so to fully block it out, I painted the back of the boards too. Eventually, I found myself using toothpicks and paintbrush handles to poke stars of different sizes into the board, choosing not to use electric lights since I hadn't enough to cover the whole backdrop. The stars, I decided, would be backlit, like the moon. As it happens, during an evening at the park, I saw the perfect full moon rising over the neighborhood, and quickly took a picture of it so I could print it at home. There, I carved an opening in the poster board for the moon, and my dad cut out a circle from a sheet of plexiglass to make a small window for the light. I glued my paper moon to the window, filled in any gaps, and with that, I turned off the lights to test my work. I was so happy with how it all looked. God allowed me to fail the first try because he knew of a better way to achieve my goal. And the new approach he showed me made my vision of twinkling stars and a silver moon a reality. Now came the time for a new venture at the studio. Tales o' the River are stories meant to bring joy and comfort to the soul by taking us along the daily lives of the Mississippi steamboats. Like us, they've been built for a purpose and must learn that though the river is wide, the way is narrow. If we follow that path, God can do amazing things with Purewater Pictures, a studio that stands for inspiration through craftsmanship. Please subscribe to our channel and like our videos so you can help advance the big dream that we call Purewater Pictures.